Alright, hello everyone. I'm back and I have a couple new toys to show you that I like to show off. This is, first off, you may notice this is a new guitar that I got last year for my birthday. It is a Fender Strat made in Mexico. Has the nice satin back of the neck and the gloss on the front. I really like that combo. Very smooth for vibrato and bending, but the going up and back and forth between the neck, very smooth. You don't get the stickiness of the gloss. I went with the humbucker single configuration so that I had a little bit more bite when I went to lead, but still kept some of the nice single coil sounds that you hear in Hendrix and songs like that. I'll also be playing the yellow guitar, and I'll show you some upgrades on that in a little bit. But the main thing that I want to show you today is my little amp and speaker cabinet that I made. Let's start with the speaker cabinet. I just used some nicer plywood that I got from a hardware store, and I screwed it together with some internal work to keep it a little stronger. It's very sturdy. I stained the outside, clear coated it. Of course, the most important part is the speaker itself. It is a WGS Green Beret, which is a greenback copy. I wanted to go for something that sounded a lot like what Eddie Van Halen uses, what AC/DC used on their original albums, and what Jimi Hendrix used, which were, for the most part, greenbacks. So I wanted something with that type of flavor. And I found it very useful. It also works with a lot of other different genres of music, as I'll show you. The amp that I just got for this year, for my birthday, is a Bugera G5 Infinium. Now, it's a relatively new amp, and if you just look it up on Google, Sweetwater is where I got it. We got a good deal on it. You might be surprised at what the cost is. It's $250. And you may then do a little research into Bugera and see that it's owned by Behringer, and you might get a little afraid. What I'm going to do for you today is show you what it sounds like straight up. There are a couple other videos you could look at as well, and I hope that will kind of defray your your concern over the cost. This is a very good sounding amp. It is basically a copy of a Blackstar HT5. 5 watts, but the best part is there's an attenuator in the back that allows you to go from 1 watt down to, and also 0.1 watt, which is great. I can be playing over here while my wife is watching television in the other room. And we're going to have a baby soon, and so I can practice listening through a speaker at 0.1 watt and hopefully not wake up the baby. 2 channels, built-in digital reverb. The reverb I don't have on a lot. I have it maybe around 2 or 1 because it kind of gets splashy if you turn it up too much, but it is just a nice little taste in a small room here. I'll be operating it at 1 watt today, just because it is quite loud at 5 watt, and I want to get it at 1 watt and have the volume up a little bit more so that the power amp tube speaks a little bit more. Standby switch also. And I'm just going to play you some different clips. Oh, I should also mention it has a foot switch available that I'll be using to go from different channels. I can also turn the reverb on and off. There is a effects loop in the back with a button to go from plus, let me double check, from plus 4 dB to minus 10 dB. I don't use the effects loop that much right now. The effects I use all go into the front. I might put the chorus on, and I might end up running that into the effects loop one day, but for right now, they all sound great just going into the front of the amp, a lot like what older players used to do before they had effects loops. Also has a second input, which allows you to plug in an MP3 player. You just need a 1/4 inch to 3.5 millimeter jack adapter, something like this right here. Let me come up a little closer to you. So it's got the stereo to basically the headphone jack. And the great part also is that it has a DI out, which you can use for headphones. I've used the headphones on it, and it sounds amazing. It's like there was a cabinet there, but it's going straight to your headphones. I have nothing to complain about the DI output. You could also use this, if you didn't want to lug around an extension cabinet, you could plug that directly into a board and send it to the mix that way. Alright, so without further ado, I'm going to play you through some different clips of different songs that I know for you to hear exactly what it does. Let me give you a look at the pedals I'll be using. I might use a couple of them here and there. From the guitar we go to a Dunlop multi-wall. I've got it on the lowest setting. 6-band EQ, I don't think I'll be using that. I might be using the Distortion Plus for a little Hendrix. There is a little Behringer Tube Overdrive, but I don't find that I need it. What I use is, if I'm on the crunch channel, the lead channel on the amp, I will just have my volume set so that I'll use my volume set up on the guitar so that I have enough gain for the solo, but then I'll just back it off for rhythm playing. Phase 90 and flanger I might use a little bit for some Van Halen stuff, and then there is the GFS Pro chorus that I probably won't be using. Alright, so I've gone to, for this first clean demo, I've gone to the 5-watt mode, just to give you a little more headroom so I can have the volume a little bit higher. I've got the volume at about 12 o'clock on the clean channel and the tone just a little bit forward into the brighter side. On the neck pickup. To middle position and I put on a little Distortion Plus and I crank the volume a little bit more. Still in the clean channel, I'll start to get some breakup. I think I'll go to the 1-watt mode for this so I don't lose any hearing. So now if you can hear some nice breakup on there, and if I hit it with the Distortion Plus, so a very usable clean sound going from clean all the way up to a classic rock break-up. I've gone over to the Overdrive channel. I've got the Overdrive set at about 9 o'clock, and I'll be showing you what that does. A little bit more the classic rock range. Let me move the gain to 12 o'clock. Let's see what we can do with this. There we go, more to the 80s there with some. Let me see if I can play you some more 80s. So you get the idea. You can, and that's only at 12 o'clock. There's still a lot of gain to go. I don't tend to go past probably 1 or 2 o'clock on the gain. I find that after that it's just too much for me because I play a lot of classic rock. Let's go over to the orange guitar. I love it when a guitar is in tune to begin with. Alright, before I play, I just want to update with you a couple of updates I made to this guitar. Added a neck pickup. I've added a nut. I don't know how you, that's the best way to see it. I've added a nut that is, it's nice if you're kind of modding your own guitar. It goes behind the existing nut, and I forget what they call it. I think Fender came out with a type of guitar that had their own locking tremolo system, and instead of retrofitting their neck to have a Floyd Rose locking nut, they put this nut behind. And I'll show you, you can dive bomb till the strings slack and they come back well in tune. So it's a good solution for me. I'm cheap, not wanting to buy a completely new neck. I don't have the expertise to route it or pay for a luthier to route it, so this is a good solution right now. Let's go to that 1 or 2 o'clock gain setting and show you what that does. Maybe a little too much gain. Okay, so this amp is a lot of fun. ECC 83 in the front end, 12BH7 in the back end. Stock tubes are not too bad. You can always change them if you like, if you want to play around with a couple different preamp tubes. Not too many options for your power tubes. You can go with a gold pin 12BH7 and maybe a little more pricey, maybe a little higher quality. If you're looking for just an at-home amplifier, you've already got a couple extension cabinets, or you have the know-how to make your own, definitely an option for you. A lot of fun for me, and gives you that tube feel, a real connection with the sound that you're making, a wide range of sounds that you can make, as you can see. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you again sometime soon. Alright, bye-bye.